ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب المبين
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد قال الله تعالى في شأن حبيبه إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما الصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه أجمعين. And welcome to the program Miftahul Quran, and we continue Surah An-Nisa, and we do part C19, which consists of chapter 4 verses 96 onwards. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I seek refuge in Allah from Satan the accursed. I begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. In our last episode, that is episode number 18C, we've been discussing about Allah telling us that no alike are the Mujahideen and those who sit at home, doing nothing, no active social work or anything for the community. And then Allah tells us that they are not equal, right? La yastawi, they are not equal. But there's another benefit here for the Mujahideen, those who struggle fi sabilillah in the cause of Allah to uplift society, Allah's creation. And there is one more darajah, Allah darajatim minhu wa maghfiratan wa rahma wa kana Allahu az ghafurar rahima. Darajatun minhu wa maghfiratan wa rahma wa kana Allahu ghafurar rahima. Now imagine for them, besides what Allah has promised them, that now darajat, they have degrees according to the way they have been practicing the jihad, degrees in ranks, daraja. Daraja is singular, darajat is plural, minhu from him, wa and maghfiratan, a forgiveness. You see, also besides darajat, they are going to have a forgiveness. Why a? Because of the tanween day, right? Wa and rahma, a mercy. So these people, wa and kana is Allah, right? Allah is ghafuran, from ghafara, he forgave, ghafuran, forgiving, is one of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and rahim, rahiman, merciful. And what we learn here is that those who continuously do jihad, as I explained in my last episode, is not going around with a naked sword killing people to say them become Muslim. No, darajat is when you struggle with your wealth and with yourself, with your lives, to uplift Allah's creation. And this is another benefit or reward, darajat in degrees in ranks. Minhu, that is from Allah, from Him, wa maghfiratan, and forgiveness, wa rahma, and a mercy, wa kana Allahu ghafurar rahima, and Allah is forgiving and He is merciful. Can you imagine all the benefits one is going to achieve? Innal lazina tawaffahumul malaikatu zalimi anfusihim qalu fima kuntum. Now we talk about those, the question of people under oppression and under dictatorship. How come Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask them, why didn't they migrate or emigrate? Inna allazina tawaffahum al-malaikatu zalimi anfusihim qalu fima kuntum. Inna, surely allazina, those who, and is, of course we know allazi is the singular, allati is plural. Tawaffahum, waffa, tawaffa. You see, ta is you. Tawaffa is actually feminine here. It's not the ta of you. This is ta, is meaning the angels, feminine, singular, used in a singular because of non-animal, non-personal plural malaika. Wa tawaffahum, them. Let's go through this thing again here. Ta is she. Ta is she. Why are we saying she here? Because every plural is feminine in Islam. Let's see where's the plural. Al-malaika. You notice al-malaika, subject of the sentence. It is a non-personal plural. Therefore we use ta, which is she. And of course, to accommodate the English language, we are going to say they have caused them, meaning people, to pass, meaning to leave this world, to die. Al-malaika, to the angel, subject of the sentence, and we know it is a plural of malak. Malak is one single angel. Zalimi, the wrongdoers. Now you notice zalim from zalama, yazlimu means to oppress, to be unjust, to do wrong. You see, zalimun, one who does wrong, a wrongdoer. But zalimuna is a plural, masculine plural. Zalimina is the accusative, genitive and accusative. Now the rule is, in an idafa construction, zalimi anfusihim, you see, zalimi, the wrongdoers of their souls. Now we do not say zalimina. We do not say zalimi. The rule is the noon of the plural falls out. That's how we get zalimi. You notice the noon has fallen down here because of the idafa construction. Zalimi anfusihim, of course is anfusi, is of the genitive case. There is him, and we know anfus. What is anfus? Is a plural of nafsun. Nafsun is a singular soul, and anfus is plural. Anfusihim is in the genitive case, anfusi, because of the idafa construction. Right? Qalu, they say. Waw alif. Qala, he said. Waw alif is they. They say, fima. Fima. Fi plus ma. You see, fi is in ma. That is in what? That is condition or circumstances. Kuntum. Kana, he was. Kuntum, you were. So here you find that the angels who come to take life, right, at the time of death, innal lazina tawaffahumul malaikatu, surely those whom the angels cause them to pass in death. Tawaffa means to cause them to pass in death, right? Zalimi anfusihim. You notice here now there is the idafa construction. Actually it's supposed to be zalimina, the unjust, but because it is an idafa, something of something, those who know what is the genitive construction or the idafa construction will know, zalimi anfusim, the wrongdoers of their souls. They, that is the angel, will ask, in what circumstances were you? In other words, how were they unjust to themselves by not making hijrat, by not migrating under oppression? What are they going to answer? These people who continuously, they allowed themselves to be oppressed, they allowed themselves, they didn't take any action, neither did they move, and the angel will ask them, qalu, these people who were oppressed, right, what are they going to say? Kunna mustad'afina fil ardi. Qalu kunna mustad'afina fi al ardi. They are going to reply, qalu, they are going to say to the angels who are going to ask them, why didn't you take action? Why were you unjust to yourselves? Qalu, waw alif is they, of course, they say, kunna, kana, he was, kunna, we were. Kunna, you see that na is we were. Mustad'afina. You see the Arabic word da'ufa means to be weak. Da'ufa, yad'ufu, to be weak. Now mustad'afina is from the form 10. Istad'afa, yastad'ifu, mustad'afina. The moment you bring this form 3 into form 10, it becomes the weakened, those who suffered that action. So mustad'afina, the fatha shows that it is the ism maf'ul, that is the one who suffers the action, those who were weakened. You see, I translate this as those who are weakened because the root letter is da'ufa, means to weak, but you'll find people who will say those who are oppressed, etc., etc. But the Quran used the word those who are weakened. They were weakened either by legislation, by their ignorance, by all the oppressive laws and things like that. This is what it means. Fi in In al, of course, al is the, and because fi is a preposition, ard is a land. You see here, fi in the land. Qalu, they are going to reply. They are going to ask. He says, what happened? Where were you? Why? What condition you were in that you didn't take action when you oppressed? Qalu kunna mustada'afina fil ardi. They will reply, we were those who were weakened. Right? Mustada'afina, we were oppressed in the land. Right? We were oppressed in the land. So now the angel are going to ask the angels, Qalu alam takun ardullahi wasi'atan fatuhajiru fiha. You see, so we'll just have a short break inshallah, and after that short break we shall continue with the reply of the angels. And just to remind you, you are watching the program Miftahul Quran on ITV.
Alif Lam Ra Tilka ayatul kitabil mubin. Alif Lam Ra Tilka ayatul kitabil mubin.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are back with the program Miftahul Quran, and of course you are watching ITV. And just before the break we were talking about the conversation between some people who suffered rather than take action. And when the angel asked them, why didn't you take action? They will reply, we were those who were weakened or oppressed in the land. Now the angel asked, Qalu alam takun ardullahi wasi'atan fatuhajiru fiha. Qalu alam takun ardullahi wasi'atan fatuhajiru fiha. The angel is going to ask, Qalu, they are going to say, the angels, what is we told you again and again, introduces a question. So the closest thing to it is a question mark, like alam tara, anta fa'alta. Alam, not takun. Takun means it was. Now you notice that ta is either you or she. Here it is she. Let us see what is that she that Allah is talking about here. You notice Quran is very, very strictly, it applies the law of concordance. The ta is she, and of course we accommodate it in English. It was. What was al-ard? Can you see earth? Earth is the subject of the sentence, because you ask the question what before the verb you are going to get the subject of the sentence. What was earth? The earth was. You see, in Arabic the earth is feminine. Like you see, Ardullahi, again, of Allah, of Allah. Now look at this, Ardullahi is another idafa construction, the genitive construction. Something of something. Something of something, right? The owner and the owned. Ardullahi wasi'atan. Notice this feminine adjective, wasi'atan. Why? Because the land, as I told you, ard is feminine by usage. In Arabic, feminine by usage, wasi'atan. Therefore, the feminine, not wasi'un, but feminine with the feminine round ta is used to qualify the land. Fatuhajiru, so you could have migrated. Hajara, yuhajiru means to migrate, to emigrate when you leave some place and go out. But migrate, we know, is a common one. Hajara fatuhajiru. Fa is so. Hajara yuhajiru. You see that ya. That ya means he. Now you change that ya and you put a ta there, it becomes, notice that you change the ya, you make a ta, it means you, right? You could, so you could have, right? Waw nun of waw alif makes it plural. Fatuhajiru, so. Fa is so. Hajara yuhajiru. As you can you see how it is formed? It's a hajara yuhajiru. It's a number 3. You see, third form. It's a third form, like kataba yukatibu, third form verb. Kataba yukatibu, hajara yuhajiru, hajiru. So you could have migrated, fiha, in it. Now the angels are going to ask him. You see, we're discussing the law of hijrat. What a great thing it is. So here is a person who's asked that why did you still suffer the oppression? And he replied that we were mustadafin, we were people who were weakened and oppressed. Qalu, the angel is going to question, alam takun ardullahi wasi'atan? The angels will say, was not the land of Allah wide? Fatuhajiru fiha, then you could have migrated in it. You see, in Islam, it's a very important point that if you are under such an oppression that you cannot bear it anymore, you cannot practice, and more than anything else, it doesn't mean to say your schooling, your clothing, everything, you cannot practice your Islamic principles. This is the most important part. Then Allah says you must make hijrat like the people in Makkah had done. فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَأْوَاهُمْ جَهَنَّمُ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَأْوَاهُمْ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. فَأُولَٰئِكَ, then these, fa is then, in other words, when you are still in a situation where you cannot practice your deen, right, you have to go do everything against the deen, more so, muhajiru ilallahi wa rasul, you make hijrat towards the values of Allah and Rasul. This is the actual meaning of this verse. Then like the people of Makkah, they had everything, they had the houses, they had everything, but they could not practice the deen, so they made hijrat, they migrated to Medina. Then these, ma'wahum, ma'wa, what is ma'ma? Abode or lodge, whom they abode or their lodge will be Jahannam. Is Jahannam. Why? Because you allow yourself to be oppressed. You are living in like hell. You see? Wa and sa'at, it is evil. What is evil? Jahannam is evil. It. Why it? Because sa'a, right, he is sa'at, she. You notice that sa is like kataba, he wrote, katabat, she wrote. But what we are going to do, that she, we convert it into it, because it refers to Jahannam. Jahannam is Sa'at Masir, as a final resting place. Now notice that la there, it's a very, very important point. You notice at the end of that ayat, there is a la here, which means that Allah told us the position of those who do not migrate, they are going to live in hell. But the statement is not complete, it is la, meaning we haven't stopped yet, we still continue. فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَأْوَاهُمْ جَهَنَّمْ, then these, their abode is Jahannam. And evil it is as a final resting place. إِلَّا الْمُسْتَضْعَفِينَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ وَالنِّسَاءِ وَالْوِلْدَانِ إِلَّا الْمُسْتَضْعَفِينَ مِنْ الرِّجَالِ وَالنِّسَاءِ وَالْوِلْدَانِ. Illa, except. Now Allah says those who had the means, they had the ability, they did not migrate, they were oppressed, they were weak and mustadafin, they are going to be blamed for not doing so. Except, Allah has made an exception, as I told you, because of the law, except al-mustadafina, those who were weakened. Right, as I told you, it is from da'ufa. What is da'afa? You see da'afa, you notice the word da'if. We say zaif, we say in Urdu, we say zaif, meaning old man is called zaif, weak, feeble. You see, zaif. So da'ufa, yeah. So muda'as, afin are those who were weakened, and as a result they were oppressed. Those who were weakened mean from among the men. Of course, rijalun, rajulun is singular, rijalun is plural, rajulun, rijalun, al is the, wa and an-nisa, and al is the. Now I told you that the singular of nisa is, there is no singular here, the singular is imra'atun. Imra'atun, like in surah what you call Yusuf, we find that waqalat imra'atul aziz. You see imra'at. Wa and al-wildan, al is the, right, wildan is a plural of walad, children, child or children. Illa al-mustad'afina min ar-rijali, except, You see, these people who were in a means to leave the country and to emigrate, etc., they did not do it. They are going to live in hell, except the oppressed, those who are weakened from among the men and the women and the children. Why? La yastati'una hilatan wa la yahtaduna sabila. You see, la yastati'una hilatan wa la yahtaduna sabila. Look at them. La, not. Yastati'una, they are able to devise. They are able to devise. In other words, they can make a plan to leave the country or run away without passport or something, whatever it is. Right? Those who are unable to devise hilatan, a stratagem. What is stratagem? Means a plan, a secret plan. Right? They were unable to make a secret plan. Wa and la, not. Yahtaduna, they are guided. Hada yahtadu. Now you see that ya means he. The moment you add waw noun, yahtaduna, they are guided to a way. Right? They are guided where? This is an what you call accusative case to express adverb of place. They are guided where? To a place. So Allah has made an exception. What is that exception? La yastati'una hilatan. Those who are unable to devise a stratagem, meaning a plan, a secret plan, like we know in the days of apartheid, those who were oppressed, they had secret plans how to cross the border, and they changed the disguise, and they had so many forged things they did. They had a stratagem, wala yahtaduna sabila, and nor are they guided. You see, those who left the country at the time of oppression, but they left the country not just to go and have a holiday, but they went out to do something for those who are inside. We'll have a short break, inshallah, and after this short break we shall continue.
Alif Lam Ra Tilka ayatul kitabil mubin. Alif Lam Ra Tilka ayatul kitabil mubin.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the program Key to the Quran, Miftahul Quran, and you are watching ITV. And just before the break we were talking about those who are unable to devise a stratagem, meaning a plan, right? Nor are they guided to a way. You notice, now this reminds us of our apartheid days. There were people who were oppressed, they had a plan, they had a kind of a secret way where they could forge passport or cross the border or something like that, and they were guided by good friends who said do this and do that. Allah says those who did not have the means, they are forgiven. فَأُولَٰئِكَ عَسَى اللَّهُ أَنْ يَعْفُوَ عَنْهُمْ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَفُوًّا غَفُورًا. فَأُولَٰئِكَ عَسَى اللَّهُ أَنْ يَعْفُوَ عَنْهُمْ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَفُوًّا غَفُورًا. فَأُولَٰئِكَ, then these, that is those who did not have the plan, those who did not have the means to make strategy and cross the border and run away from the country and leave that oppression. Right? And remember, a Muslim has been told, if you cannot practice your deen, you must migrate. And if you do not do so and you still continue doing that, then you are going to be in hell, you're going to be oppressed. فَأُولَٰئِكَ, then these, asa, maybe or perhaps, Allah, right, Allah is a subject of sentence, and that ya'fuwa anhum. Now you see this word afa, afa ya'fu, afa he forgave, ya'fu he forgives, he forgives. You see ya'fu, you see this is ya'fuwa, and it is always accompanied by the preposition an. Like amana bi, we believe. What you say? We believe in something. You notice even in English, amana bi, believe in something, and you disbelieve, you disbelieve in something. Like here now, afa an, ya'fuwa an, and these two together, it means he pardons. You see this part here, it means he pardons. He pardons them. He pardons whom? Them, meaning those people who did not have the strategy, the plot or etc. to move. Wa and kana Allahu, and Allah is afuwan. You see from the word afwa. Afwa means to forgive. Allah is afuwan, He is pardoning, one of the sifat of Allah. Ghafuran, forgiving. Ghafuran. Now notice now here what is very, very important, that those who did not have the means, even in the time of early Islam, for instance in Makkah, those who did not have the means and nobody did guide them and show them the plot and the strategy to what, and they did not leave, they did not migrate, فَأُولَٰئِكَ عَسَى اللَّهُ أَن يَعْفُوَ عَنْهُم. Then these may be that Allah pardons them. And I want to emphasize again that ya'afua, afa ya'fu always goes with that an. You see, it's a verb that must be accompanied with an and whom, meaning them. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَفُوًا غَفُورًا. And Allah is pardoning and He is forgiven. Now notice what Allah is using, what type of His attributes. Afuwan, pardoning, ghafuran, forgiving, because He is talking about pardoning people who did not do what they supposed to do. So therefore, very appropriately, Allah is using that afuwan, ghafura, that is His pardoning and His forgiving. Please, whenever you recite the Quran, you must watch out for these things. وَمَنْ يُهَاجِرْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ يَجِدْ فِي الْأَرْضِ مُرَاغًا كَثِيرًا وَسَعَةً. وَمَنْ يُهَاجِرْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ يَجِدْ فِي الْأَرْضِ مُرَاغًا كَثِيرًا وَسَعَةً. And man, whoever hajara yuhajiru. I told you hajara means to migrate or to emigrate. In most cases we emigrate, because emigrate means to leave one country to go to another, to leave your own country. But as another word, immigrate means to come into a country, right? Emigrate means to leave a country. You see E, you can see the word E to exist, right? Hajara yuhajiru. Hajara yuhajiru. Yuhajiru is the third form, number 3 verb, right? Like kataba yukatibu, hajara yuhajiru, he emigrates. Fi in sabil, in the cause of Allah. You notice you emigrate not because you want to go and get married, or you feel that you want to go for better life, smart life, and you want to run away from, you want to live it up, you want to go to some big city so it is nice, smart times and all that. No, you must emigrate, you make hijrat for the sake of Allah. Wajada yajidu, wajada he found, yajidu he will find. Now yajid, you see, ya is he will find. Now the sukoon because of man yuhajir fi sabilillahi, yajid he will find, fi in al-ard, in the land. In other words, if you emigrate, you migrate, you leave your home, fi sabilillah, in the cause of Allah, not to go and have good times, that you not call a muhajir in the Islamic point of view. Al is the muraqan, refuge, kathiran, much refuge, like people from Makkah, they came into Medina, it applies to that, and then it can apply to so many times where Muslims were oppressed in different parts of the world, and you have to leave and go to a place where you could practice your Islam. This is what it is. Kathiran, wa and sa'atan, ampleness, like the Muslims came from Makkah to Medina, they were taken as a refuge, they were great refuge and ampleness. The Ansars, those who were in Medina, they were able to share things with them, right? وَمَنْ يُهَاجِرْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. And whoever emigrates in the cause of Allah, please take note. I'm not going to emigrate to New York because I want to be free from South African law, or if I'm living in a Muslim country, I want to go live in a country where I can lead a life without being worried about Islamic values and I can live it up. That is, you're not a mujahajir in the sense of Islamic value. You must live fi sabilillah. Yajid, he will find fil ardi muraghan kathiran. Muraghan kathiran means much refuge, plenty help, and ampleness wa sa'atan in the land, in Allah's land. Right? وَمَنْ يَخْرُجْ مِنْ بَيْتِهِ مُهَاجِرًا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ ثُمَّ يُدْرِكْهُ الْمَوْتُ وَمَنْ يَخْرُجْ مِنْ بَيْتِهِ مُهَاجِرًا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ ثُمَّ يُدْرِكْهُ الْمَوْتُ. Let us see now. Someone who lives, and man, whoever, male, female, child, adult, right? Yakhruju, from kharaja, yakhruju, kharaja, to go out, to make an exit. Yakhruju, he goes out. Min is from. Try to read that without that min. Min is from. Min. Baitihi, bait is house. He is his. He is his house. Now what is that small meme doing there? That meme is called iqlab. It's got nothing to do with the grammar. It's got something to do with your pronunciation. If I say min baiti, say min baiti without the meme. Min baiti. You see, now you'll find that noon, that meme is a letter that is pronounced from the meme. Ma. It's a labial, it's pronounced from the lip, and the ba is also pronounced from the lip. Right? So if you make that into ba, mim baiti, it is easier to pronounce, and they call it iqlab. Baitihi muhajiran. What is muhajir? Muhajir is one who immigrates. Right? An immigrant. And this is an adverb of manner. How does he leave his house? Muhajiran as an immigrant. Ila, to Allah. You see, this is very important. To Allah wa rasulihi, to his messenger. Rasul is messenger, he is his. Now you notice ila is also given this thing kasraye because of the ila. This one is in the genitive case. Right? Thumma, thereafter. Yudriku, adraka yudriku is a fourth form verb. Adraka, af'ala yuf'ilu, like arsala yursilu. Right? Yudrik. Adraka yudriku, ya is, right, it. What is that it? It is a death. Yudrikhu, it overtakes him. What overtakes him? That the Dhamma shows that al-maut is a subject of the sentence, and therefore it answers the question, what overtakes him? Al-maut, that is the death. وَمَنْ يَخْرُجْ مِنْ بَيْتِهِ مُهَاجِرًا. And whoever goes out from his house as an immigrant, meaning one who is actually leaving out of problem, ilallahi wa rasulihi. Right? Immigrant to Allah and his messenger. This is a very important point when you talk about, in the religious sense, who is a muhajir. Thumma yudrikhul mautu. Right? Thereafter, what happens? The death overtakes him while he is running away in the process of leaving. Either they fight him, they kill him or something, they stab him or something happens and he has to die out of disease or something. فَقَدْ وَقَعَ أَجْرُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا. فَقَدْ وَقَعَ أَجْرُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا. What a wonderful thing. Faqad, then verily. Fa, of course, we have done that so many times. You can say then or you can say so. Then verily, waqa'a, it revolves, it becomes due. Waqa'a means it falls. See, waqa'a means to fall. It devolves or it becomes due. Ajruhu, ajr is reward or recompense. Right? What becomes due? Ask the question, what becomes due or what devolves? You are going to get the answer, the subject of the sentence. Ajr becomes reward, becomes due. who is his reward becomes due, Allah upon Allah. Allah is preposition, Allah is in the genitive case, upon Allah. Wa and kana is Allah, and Allah is Ghafuran, forgiving, Rahima. Now look at this again. You see how beautiful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, فَقَدْ وَقَعَ أَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ. That is, whoever leaves his home, his belongings, and he migrates for the sake of the deen, right, ilallahi wa rasuluhu, as says, what happened to him? Then verily his reward has devolved upon Allah. Wa kana Allahu ghafuran rahima. Notice also, as I've always pointed out, the use of the various sifat of Allah. And we'll have a short break, and inshallah after the short break we shall continue. And of course you are watching Miftahul Quran on ITV.
Alif Lam Ra Tilka ayatul kitabil mubin. Alif Lam Ra Tilka ayatul kitabil mubin.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have come to the fourth session of this lesson 19C, dealing with Surah An-Nisa. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wa iza darabtum fil ardi falaysa alaykum junahun an taqsuru minas salati. Now we talk about more rules regarding the act of hijrah, that is those who have to leave their homes fi sabilillah, in the cause of Allah, ilallahi wa rasul, to Allah, and migrating because of Allah and because of His. And so wa iza darabtum fi al-ardi falaysa alaykum junahun an taqsuru minas salati. Now these are rules regarding when you travel out, what is the condition of your salat. Wa idha, when, and when darabtum, daraba yadribu means to strike, to give an example, and here it means to travel. So daraba has got various meanings. It does not only mean to smash and hit people. Daraba here actually means travel. Darabtum, like kataba, he wrote. Katabtum, you wrote. Darabtum, you travel. Fi, in al-ardi, the land. Now you notice that is a genitive case because of the fi here. When you travel in the land, fa, then laysa, there is not. Laysa, there is not. Alaykum, Allah is upon, kum, you, upon you. Junahun, a harm or a blame. There is no harm or blame. Antad taqsuru, from qasara yaksuru means, qasara means to shorten. Qasara yaksuru, to shorten. You shorten. Taqsuru is you shorten. Now because Allah is speaking to many people, He says in the plural, you shorten, min, part of. Of course this was min, because we are adding something there, we use a fatha, minas salati, part of the salah. Wa iza darabtum fil ardi, and when you travel in the land. These are people who are going from place to place, not necessarily as muhajir, anyone, but more so people who travel during the time of certain times of war and things like that. Then there is not a blame upon you that you shorten part of the salah. In khiftum an yaftinakumul ladina kafaru, innal kafirina kanu lakum aduwwan mubina. In khiftum an yaftinakum alladhina kafaru, innal kafirina kanu lakum aduwwan mubina. In, now there's a condition. Why is permission given for you to shorten your salat? Notice this very, very carefully. In, if khiftum, khafa, right, khafa yakhifu, khiftum, if you fear. Khiftum, laqala qultum. Khiftum, you fear, and that yaftinakum, right, fitna. You see the word fitna, would harass, right, to oppress, right. Yaftani, they. Now why they? because this is a verbal sentence starting with a verb, and the plural is going to be who. Ask the question who. Before the verb, what do we get? We get allazina, which is in the plural. Therefore, I translate that as they. They will harass kum, you. Right? Kum means fitna. What is fitna? To oppress, to harass. Right? This is the meaning of fitna. Right? Yaftanikum, and who is going to oppress you? Allazina, those who kafaru. Right? Wow, alif kafara, he disbelieved. Kafaru, they disbelieve. Inna, surely, al-kafirina. Now you notice inna is noon with a shadda, noon tashdid, therefore we say kafirina. This ka, that ya noon is a sign of the accusative. We can't say kafiruna ye, kafirina, because of inna. Innal kafirina, that disbelievers, kanu, they are. Wow, alif makes it they. Lakum, unto you, aduun. Aduun what? Aduun mean an enemy. Right? They are what? Ask the question what? You get an answer in the accusative. Aduun, an enemy. Mubin, mubinan. Now you notice aduun is in the accusative plus a double fatha. So the adjective describing it also has a double fatha which ends in an alif. You notice aduun mubinan. In khiftum an yaftanikamu kumul ladina kafaru, if you fear that those who have disbelieved will harass you. Right? Like for instance, you are out and applies also in the early days of Islam when people went out, they used to make their salat, and while they're making their salat they were told instead of 4 rakat, make it 2, qasr, short. Because if you fear that those who have disbelieved will harass you. Innal kafiruna kanu lakum aduwwan mubina, surely the disbelievers are an open enemy unto you. You notice, so to shorten the salat, the Quran tells us it was given special permission to shorten the salat because you believe that people are going to harass you. Wa iza kunta fihim faqamta lahumus salata wa iza kunta fihim faqamta lahumus salata. This is an instruction given to the Imam. Who was the Imam at that time? Faiza aqamta, meaning Allah's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Wa, and iza, when, kunta, you are. Ta is you, of course. Fihim, amidst them or among them. Allah's Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam is told in a condition of war, whether it was Uhud, Badr, whatever it is, you are amidst them. Fa'aqamta, then you have performed. In other words, you lead. Fa'aqamta, ta is you, of course. Fa is so or then. Fa'aqamta lahum, for them. As-salata. We know that al is the. As-salat is the salah, the 5 formal prayers of the day. Wa iza kunta fihim fa'aqamta lahumus salata. And when you are, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, amidst them, when you perform, that is when you lead the salah for them. Now this can apply today to the Khalifa or to any leader of the community, the commander-in-chief of the army. Right? He's been told that in the conditions, wartime condition, how do you perform salat? And if you watch the TV, when what is salat is going on in the Haram Sharif, whether it's Makkah or Medina, you find there are soldiers walking around. Right? That is in compliance with this verb, this verse. فَلْتَقُمْ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنْهُمْ مَعَكَ وَلْيَأْخُذُوا أَسْلِحَتَهُمْ فَلْتَقُمْ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنْهُمْ مَعَكَ وَلْيَأْخُذُوا أَسْلِحَتَكُمْ. Now you see, you have, say you have an army of 100 people. So what do? فَلْتَقُمْ, then let them stand up. Fa is then. Now you see this lam with the sukoon, it's let. It is a third person command. This is a third person command which you have also in English too. So let them stand up, meaning ta'ifatun, a party. So you divide the soldiers into 2 groups. So let a party stand, minhum, of them, right? ma'aka with you. Right? Wa, and you see this again, wal yakhuzu, and let. You see this is another third party command, third person command, liyakhuzu, let them take aslihatukum, their arms. Silahun is their arms, whether they carried guns, AK-47 today, and those days they carried the swords and other shields and etc. These are all asliha. Asliha, silahun is singular, aslihatun is plural. Their arms, let them carry their arms. Faltakum ta'ifatum minhum ma'aka. Then let a party of them stand up with you. So divide the thing into two. One party stands, wal ya'khuzu aslihatahum, and let them take up their arms. So in other words, you have an army of 100 people, you are traveling, the Imam, the commander in the chief, and this is a command to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. You divide them into two and let one party of them stand up with you and let them take up their arms. They must stand up with the ammunition, whatever they have, in case the enemy attacks. You see, so we come to the end of this particular lesson here. So what we learned now, this is part of the verse, this hasn't completed this verse, which we are going to complete in lesson number 20C, and of course we have come to the end of this lesson 19C, and what we learned, so many things insofar as the rules regarding muhajirin. And remember, we have to pay very, very close and attention to these laws, because you remember these people who sacrificed themselves. Had they not gone out of their way, left Mecca, left all their belongings, left their home, their children and everything, and migrated to promote Islam, so today we have Islam. So these are very important verses as far as I'm concerned. When I go into it, I get very emotional to think that how the ashab, the companions of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how they sacrificed for the deen, so that today we have the deen. And with these few words, I must thank today the engineers here, particularly Brother Yusuf here, and from us all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alif Lam Ra, Tilka ayatul kitabil mubin, Inna أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون